Taekwondo Club. Welcome back. We are in video 2. In today's lesson, we're going to go over a little bit more of our striking and blocking. We're going to use that as our practice and warm-up. And then we're going to get into some of the kicking parts of Taekwondo. Kicking is my favorite part of Taekwondo. It's super fun. If you ever go into like a Taekwondo academy where there's lots of people around, you will just see legs flying everywhere. Kicking is a huge part of the martial art. One important thing for you to know or remember about that, though, is that it's not usually used as a form of self-defense. Mostly because when I lift up my leg, if I'm going to do a kick, even though I'm pretty fast at it, there's still a chance that somebody else might grab my leg, or even though I'm pretty balanced when I kick, I still have that chance of falling down because I only have one leg on the ground. That's a situation that you don't want to find yourself in a self-defense situation. There's much more practical ways to protect yourself, so we don't normally use kicking. Now, one important thing that kicking does teach you is how to balance. When I lift up my leg, I have to know where my body needs to be, where my feet needs to be, how my hips need to be lined up in order to keep myself from falling down. It also is a great way to promote flexibility in your muscles. You have to get flexible in order to kick well in Taekwondo. It's also a really good form of cardio. If you're not out of breath by the time you're done kicking, you probably haven't been kicking hard enough. So we're going to go over a little bit of that today. It's super fun. But first, we got to warm up our muscles. The important reason behind that is it's very easy to pull a muscle when you are kicking. So you have to make sure your hips and your legs are ready to go. So let's start with, once again, 20 jumping jacks, counting in Korean. Ready? And go. Hana, dual, set, net, taset, yaset, oga, yudul, ahop, yo, yo hana, yo dual, yo set, yo net, yo taset, yo yaset, yo oga, yo dual, yo hop, sumo. That's 20. We're going to put our hands on our hips, bring our hips around in a circle. 5 this direction. 4, 5. And then I'll count to Korean in the other direction. Ready? Hana, 둘, set, net, taset. All right, next I'm going to bring my knee up and over. This is continuing to stretch out and warm up my hips. Stretch out and warm up, my hips. So, bringing my knee up and out. Let's do 5 on each side. Ready? Hana, 둘, set, net, taset, yaset, oga, yudul, ahop, and yo. If you aren't able to bring your knees quite as high as I was in that situation, that's totally fine. You could bring them to about knee height and bring them up and over. You could just bend them a little bit and bring them up and over. That's totally fine. All right, next we're going to get into a stretch kick. Sometimes these are called swing kicks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my leg up in front of me and down. I'm going to do it slowly the first time, but normally these go pretty quick. When I do this, up, down, I'm keeping my knee as straight as possible, and I'm pulling my toes back. You don't have to go very high for this if you're not able to yet. Try to aim for about your belt height, where your belt would be, which is about where your belly button is. 1, 2, so yeah, that one was pretty fast. 3, 4, 5. And switch to the other side. You don't want one super flexible leg and one super not flexible leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. I'm going to do one final one. Oh, hold on, my dog wants in. Okay, 1 minute. All right. I'm going to do one final one where I am going to stretch out my legs in a runner's stretch. I'm going to bend down, bending my knee. Go on. You might notice my dogs wouldn't be able to do this because she only has 3 legs. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. one knee flipped. Good. Switch to the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm evenly stretched out on both sides. Walking my feet back together, and we're going to start in our kicks. I'm going to go over 3 super basic kicks that will get you started in your path to flexibility and balance while kicking. So the first one is called a front snapping kick. Now, you can kind of get an idea of what this kick looks like just from its name. You are aiming in front of you, and you're snapping your leg out. So I'm going to start by bending my knee, and then I'm making sure I have my toes pulled back. The reason behind this is because when I kick out, I'm kicking with the balls of my feet. I'm not kicking with my toes. If I make contact with something and I have my toes leading my foot, I'm going to hurt my toes. So we're pulling our toes back and kicking with what's called the ball of our foot. So you're lifting your leg out and kicking out. So that's a front snapping kick. You might have noticed that I have my guarding hands up while I do these kicks. The reason behind that is that it helps with your balance. It's also just really good practice to always have your guard hands up whenever you're practicing martial arts, to keep you focused, and also to just keep you in practice of keeping them up, trying to defend yourself. Ready? So try to have your guard hands up while we do this. Knee up and out. Front snap kick. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, last one, ready? 5. Now, if you could hear that, I don't know if the camera's gonna pick it up. When I kicked out, my uniform, this is called the dobak, this is a traditional martial arts uniform. I'm making a noise actually with my uniform. It makes a snapping noise. Hold on, Doc. Stand still. Ready? That snapping noise means that I am doing a really strong kick. So if you're wearing sweatpants or something like that, see if you can get that snap noise. Ready? Oh, now you want to go back outside, huh, dog? All right. Ready? 1. Good. I got that snapping noise on that one. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Last one. Front snap kick. I actually did 10 on that leg, so I'm going to do 10 on this leg to keep things even. And switching to your other leg so you can get that same amount of flexibility and strength in that one too. Ready? 1. Breathe out. 2. Breathe out while you kick. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9, 10. All right, now we've done 10 on one leg, 10 on the other. I don't know if you guys can see my bottom foot while I'm kicking. I'll try to get it in the next one. If you find that your bottom foot, your foot on the floor, is moving or wiggling around as you kick, that's okay. Your foot is trying to find where your body will most be balanced as you practice your kicks. So if it's moving and wiggling around, that is okay. All right, our next set of kicks are called the crescent kicks. We just learned our front snap kick, which aims for something directly in front of you. The crescent kicks allow you to hit something that might be on your side. So crescent kicks are going to start off a lot like those warm-ups we were doing where we brought our knees in and out. We have 2 kinds of crescent kicks. One called an inside crescent kick that looks like this, and one called an outside crescent kick, which looks like this. Inside comes in towards your body, outside goes away from your body. So inside and outside crescent kicks. You might have noticed that I started by bringing my knee up, and then I'm trying to extend my knee as far as I can and bring it out. So I'm going to do it from the side. You might not be able to see very well from this angle, but I'm going to bring my knee in and out. Well, that didn't work. That works pretty well. Ready? In and out. That's an outside crescent kick. We're going to do 5 on this side, and then switch and do 5 on the other. If you're not able to get your knee to fully extend and go straight, that's okay. Keep working on it. Just go as far as you can without hurting yourself. Ready? And hana. Breathe out when you kick. Dual. Set. Net. Toss it. And switch to the other side. Ready? Hana. Dual. Set. Net. And toss it. While you do these, if you find yourself having difficulty balancing, and if your feet are moving around just a little bit too much, you can use a wall and prop your hand against it as you practice and as your feet figure out where they're going to be the most balanced. Now we're going to switch to the inside crescent kicks. I'm going to start by having my leg kind of far out from me, and then I'm bringing it in. I'm swinging it in. Ready? And let me show you one more time with my knee. In, like that. Ready? And hana. In. Dual. Set. Net. And last one, toss it. Very good. Other leg. Ready? Hana. You might notice I'm a little bit better on this leg with these ones. Dual. That just means I need to practice more on this side. Set. Net. And toss it. Once again, if you'd like to use a wall during this, go for it so that you can feel balanced and keep practicing. One thing you might have noticed with that when I did those is I was using my back leg. If you were using your front, that's totally fine. All right, those are the first 3 basic kicks of Tae Kown Do. We have the front snapping kick, which is aimed directly in front of you. We have the 2 side kicks, or our crescent kicks, that are aimed to something that might be on your side. As you continue to practice those, remember it is okay if your foot kind of wiggles around a little bit. Your foot is trying to find where it is most balanced during those kicks. So experiment. See if you feel most balanced with your foot off to the side. See if you feel most balanced with it straight forward. Everybody's a little bit different with that. I personally will kind of have my foot at a 45-degree angle when I do those kicks, but when I do other kicks, it is completely off in another direction. So find where you are most balanced. If you need a wall to start that, that is totally fine as well. Also, don't push yourself to kick above your head or any higher than you are comfortable with. These kicks should never hurt. If they do hurt, bring them down a little bit. Bring it down maybe to 2 or 3 inches and see if it feels better then. Now that you've gone through the kicks, I would highly recommend going back to the beginning of the video and going through the stretches that we were doing then, because your body is now really warmed up, and that is the perfect time to continue stretching and gaining more flexibility. All right, I hope you all enjoyed learning how to kick, and I will see you all next week for some self-defense. Bye.